What is your never interrupt an enemy while they are making a mistake moment? My boss Austin thought he was the smartest guy in the building. 6 months after getting promoted to department manager, he decided our entire customer service operation was outdated and inefficient. Austin called an all-hands meeting on a Monday morning. He had this PowerPoint presentation about revolutionizing customer experience through digital transformation. His big idea? We'd stop taking phone calls completely. Everything would go through email only. It's more professional and creates better documentation, he announced. I raised my hand immediately. Austin, about 70% of our customers are over 65. They call us specifically because they struggle with email and online systems. He waved me off. That's exactly the problem, Tyler. We're enabling their dependence on outdated communication methods. Time to force them into the modern world. I'd been doing customer service for 8 years. I knew our customer base better than anyone, but Austin had an MBA and a fancy title, so everyone nodded along. The new policy started that Wednesday. By 10 a.m., our phone system was lighting up like a Christmas tree. Elderly customers calling about billing issues, medical equipment problems, insurance claims. Austin told us to let everything go to voicemail and direct callers to email support. They'll adapt, he said confidently. I was about to argue when I remembered something my grandfather told me years ago. Never interrupt an enemy while they're making a mistake. So I stopped talking and started taking notes. Every angry voicemail, every confused customer, every problem that wasn't getting solved. By Friday, we had over 400 unread emails. Customers who had been waiting 3 days for responses about serious issues. Mrs. Patterson needed help with her late husband's life insurance claim. Mr. Davis couldn't figure out why his medical equipment warranty was denied. The Wilson family was trying to understand a billing error that had been charging them twice for 6 months. Austin was running around the office looking stressed. Why is our email response time so slow? We need more staff. He hired 3 temp workers to handle the backlog, except he forgot to train them properly. He just told them to respond to emails as quickly as possible. That's when things got really crazy. The temp workers started sending completely random responses to customers. Mrs. Patterson got an email about setting up cable internet. She had asked about her husband's death benefits. Mr. Davis received a response about dog food allergies. He needed help with his oxygen machine warranty. The Wilson family got instructions for canceling their newspaper subscription. They were asking about duplicate billing charges. I watched this disaster unfold and just kept documenting everything. Screenshots of every wrong email, records of every customer complaint, notes about every temp worker mistake. Tuesday morning, Austin got called into a meeting with corporate. 3 customers had filed formal complaints with the state consumer protection agency. One was threatening a lawsuit. I could see Austin through the glass conference room, sweating through his expensive shirt, trying to explain his email-only system to our district manager. So you decided to stop taking phone calls from seniors who don't understand email? The manager asked. It was about creating efficiency and modernizing our approach, Austin stammered. And you hired untrained temporary workers to handle insurance and medical equipment claims? Austin's face was bright red now. We had an unexpected backlog situation that required additional resources. The meeting lasted 2 hours. I watched Austin gesturing frantically, pointing at charts, trying to save his job. Friday afternoon, corporate scheduled an emergency department review. They wanted to examine all customer service interactions from the past 2 weeks. That's when I finally made my move. I'd compiled everything into a detailed report, 230 pages of documentation showing exactly how Austin's system had failed. Every misdirected email, every angry customer complaint, every temp worker error, every policy violation, all organized chronologically with timestamps and customer impact assessments. Austin tried to blame his team during the review meeting, said we weren't following his instructions properly and that the temp workers had been inadequately supervised by existing staff. The district manager looked confused. But Tyler, you've been here 8 years. What's your take on this situation? That's when I spoke up for the first time in 2 weeks. Actually, we followed Austin's instructions exactly as given. I have complete documentation of the implementation process. I handed over my folder. The district manager spent 20 minutes reviewing it while Austin sat there looking like he wanted to disappear. Austin, you're terminated effective immediately. Tyler, I need you to take over as interim manager and fix this situation. Austin packed his desk that same afternoon. On his way out, he stopped at my cubicle with his cardboard box of personal items. You know, you could have warned me this wouldn't work, he said quietly. I looked up from my computer where I was already working on bringing back phone support. You told me that questioning your system showed old school thinking that was holding the company back. He stood there for a long moment, then nodded and walked toward the exit. Monday morning, I officially got promoted to department manager. The first thing I did was restore our phone lines and retrain the staff on proper customer service protocols. Within a week, our customer satisfaction scores were back to normal levels. Turns out listening to people who actually understand the job isn't old school thinking. It's just smart management. The best part, corporate used my documentation as a case study for other departments about the importance of understanding your customer base before implementing major policy changes.